Managing Director Robert Chandler joins me now and weighs in on the matter. Robert, thank you so much for joining us. I find it quite bizarre that we would need to pay for government's failure to get the machines back up and running again. It's unfathomable.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, this is a problem. There's like a mantra that pops out of the National Department of Transport and the National Ministry, and that is end user must pay. Doesn't matter if it's incompetence or just general inability to perform. But this debacle I cannot understand it. Tenders were approved back in 2010 already, and if I recall correctly, we've had about 4 or 5 requests for proposals that have been put out for a replacement machine going back as far as 2010, 2011. In fact, Treasury went out on a limb and actually approved that all the money that generated for the RTMC via NATIS, which is substantial, running into the hundreds of millions, is ring-fenced specifically to replace and service and maintain this type of equipment. And the fact that it hasn't been done, and they've actually taken over a 20-year-old machine and try to run on that, just proves that there's some serious incompetence taking place, a lack of decision-making, and it's been foisted on us. And this mantra of end user must pay needs to stop.
Rob, have you had any discussions with the Department of Transport over what's causing the delay in the procurement of a new printing machine?
We haven't. We're pretty well stonewalled. It's not just this matter itself. Any letter that you send or email that you send to the Department of Transport just disappears into a black hole. It seems like there's a policy that if we don't answer, we can't be held accountable. I've had documentation that we've submitted to the various departments, possibly 12, 14 months, no responses. Yeah, things that affect the people's daily lives, appeals for poor results in testing. When a candidate wants to appeal, don't get answered. Basic stuff doesn't get answered. It's just as if there's just not a will to actually perform. So that is where we sit with the Department of Transport. It's all very well posturing and tweeting and gain into what they call the fourth industrial revolution, which is technology. We can't get the basics right. Let's stop wasting money and wasting time. It's all fixable. Somebody's just got to get down and actually take responsibility and drive it forward.
Perhaps it's something we need to tackle with the minister and get some answers. In terms of making a driver's license valid for 10 years instead of 5, that concerns me slightly because people's eyesight does deteriorate and other sort of health aspects of person, I think, should be checked on a regular basis, especially for elderly people. How would you counter that?
The thing is, sometimes we've got to play the honesty system. If we go with international norms, because if you look back when this system originally came out, it was a 5-year time period, and that was a standard benchmark internationally. Technology has improved to a state that security can be guaranteed for 10 years. Some of your European countries have pushed it up to 15 years. So this hanging on to the 5-year period just doesn't meet the mark. Your concerns that you're looking at, yes, it does happen, but that's why we've got law enforcement agencies out there. We also have to rely on an adult. We can't spoon feed people all the time. And the law does say specifically, if something changes in your circumstances or your health, the onus is of you to report it within 21 days. The law's already there. So if you don't comply with that law, then and you have an incident or something gets reported, or we pick it up at a subsequent inspection or test, then it's a prosecutable offence. So the person needs to be dealt with. But we can't babysit everybody. We have to allow some sort of leeway where the responsibility lies with the license holder, as in anything in life. So yes, I do have fears like that. But let's go back a couple of years where the license wasn't valid. Definitely, it was stuck into your ID book, and you weren't tested for 60 years again.